Hello again, everyone. I'm Ryan Menley. This is Brett Easley. Welcome to Griffin Sports Insider. Another week and another look into the world of Missouri Western athletics.
Ryan, as always, we've got an exciting, action-packed show for you this week, including our first on-the-court look at the Griffin basketball teams, plus an emotional journey and comeback for one student athlete.
But we begin with football. Missouri Western prepares to hit the road to Missouri Southern this week, and the Griffins must do so by rebounding from this past weekend's loss at Central Missouri. Battle of top 20 teams in Warrensburg. Missouri Western gunning for its 8th straight win over Central Missouri. It looked like that streak would continue early on. The Griffin D taking the football away. Defensive end David Bass picks off Eric Zernitsky in the red zone here. Then on Central's next possession, they're back in the red zone and the same result. Zernitsky picked off in the end zone by Kendall Davis. Griffins would take the ball and turn it to points. Drew Newhart hitting T.J. Fannin for his first touchdown catch as Griffin. 7-0 Western. Central's next possession, another pick. This time Ian Thompson with the takeaway. The Mules throw 3 INTs in their first 3 possessions. Griffs capitalize again. Start of the second quarter. Newhart with the short quarterback plunge. It's now 14-0. Everything going right for Western. But then everything goes wrong. Still second quarter, Newhart passing. This time he's picked off by the Mules' Marlon Douglas, and he'll go 32 yards the other way for the score. And from there, Central grabs the momentum and runs with it, literally. Third quarter, Anthony Stewart gets loose. He's gone. Stewart with 224 rushing yards on the day. The Mules score 43 unanswered points on the Griffins. Western wouldn't get on the scoreboard again until late in the fourth quarter. Travis Partridge would hit Andrew Mead, who makes the nice extra effort to get in the end zone, but it's not enough. Western falls in Warrensburg, 43-21, your final.
We've been there a lot with these guys. We've been down like this, getting ready to get kicked, and we rallied and won. I guess, you know, you circle a dog, I heard Tom Smith say, you circle a dog so many times, especially a vicious dog, they're eventually going to bite you. And we just circle enough times they're due to beat us. But
we just didn't take care of business. We didn't move the ball, and then we didn't make stops like we're supposed to. And, you know, that'll hurt you. It's very frustrating for myself, and I know Drew, to, you know, lose to these guys. And I just feel like, you know, we definitely let one that we should have won get away.
We've got to play better, and we've got to execute.
And joining us now is head football coach Jerry Partridge. Coach, that was kind of a strange game, just in a sudden momentum shift. Have you ever seen anything like that?
Yeah, in Topeka, 2 weeks prior. But you know, that was the first thing Jim Sabota said to me. He goes, "That was a strange game. I don't know, just a miserable game to me." But you know, we really, for a quarter and a half, outplayed him and looked like, oh, here we go, and then just a huge swing to give them the lead. It was a tight ball game like everybody expected at halftime, and then the third quarter was fairly tight. We just never could get anything going on offense, and their offense is very explosive. And our defense, I thought, played very well for about 5/8 of a football game. And then I'm disappointed in our fourth quarter effort again like it was in Maryville 2 weeks ago. I just think we slid off, and emotionally, not necessarily physically, but emotionally, we kind of quit.
Well, looking back at the beginning of that football game, could you have scripted a better start to that game?
Yeah, we could have stopped them maybe, but I mean, you know, we got down there and made some plays, and that was really impressive. I mean, David Bass's interception was just an incredibly athletic play. He hurt us, actually got a turf toe in that play. It was really not himself the rest of the football game. You know, I guess what's the trade-off? I don't know, but Kendall Davis made a great play, and then Ian Thompson. And we really, our crowd was great. When we came in the back gate, that was the best I've ever seen an away crowd get emotional and really rallied and spurred our kids. Each interception, each play, I mean, they really got behind it, and just when we ran into the kicker, I think momentum changed a little bit.
You mentioned that, and a lot of people would look at the play-by-play and say, well, you know, the 2 turnovers, you know, really turned the game, and they did. But you felt the roughing the kicker penalty before that may have
was the first swing, but certainly the turnovers are huge. I mean, no doubt. But I mean, Jeremy Weston really almost got it. It looked like it went through his armpit, in fact, and landed and was clean all the way, but he rolled to his left, and there, to the ref's viewpoint, it looked like probably the foot was hit. Whether it was or not, I don't know. You got to get credit to their kicker for doing what he did and flopping. But you know, then the turnovers happened, and certainly it was a ball game that they were in control of at that point.
You've obviously seen the film offensively through a quarter and a half. We didn't run the ball great, but ran it enough to keep them honest. Threw the football okay. But after the turnovers, it just didn't seem like we could get anything going. What was the reasoning for that?
I just think emotionally we weren't there. And that's why us coaches have to get them up, and leadership has to step up. And we did. We were effective for 2 really good drives. And Just didn't at that point from then on, didn't get it done. And I think the pocket got collapsed. We've got to be a little bit more physical. I think the MO right now is attack our front hard and try to play man against us, and right now it's effective.
Trying to get something going at the end of the second quarter. We faked a punt. Talk about that decision.
Well, we're punting into the wind, and anytime we're into the wind, a lot of times I'll do it because you're counting on a probably 25, 30-yard short punt. With that kind of offense, I mean, if it's a lesser offense, maybe not, but with that type of offense, shoot, they could have one pass me 15, 20 yards, you're right there. It's kind of like I used to get very upset in the Dick Vermeil days when he would go punt it on 4th and 1 at the 37. I thought, are you kidding me? They're going to be one play and they're going to be right back here. So that was just a gamble. I thought it was there. It was there, actually. We just didn't execute it properly. Brad was to run 2 more steps and sell it, and then that kid that made a tackle might have bailed. Like I thought he might, and Brad took off. Well, then the guy's going to go. And then one other guy from the Shield was supposed to get blocked. He got hung up and tried to block somebody that was getting blocked, and it was ineffective.
Look at the score of that game. Folks think, well, your offense kind of got rung up on a little bit, but your defense kind of got rung up on a little bit, but your defense was on the field for a lot of that football game, and really in the first half, they played pretty well.
I think for, like I said, 5/8 of the game. We did get rung up, 500 yards and 43 points. But I mean, you're right. I mean, we competed, and the mistakes we made were like, golly, come on, we knew this was going to happen. Execute, and it was nothing that was just crazy out of And they were able to run the ball more effective than I really hoped. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But that kid's talented. And our linebackers were so into getting out of there, getting pass drops, and a couple times they got out of their gaps, and that's what happened.
Kind of along the lines of Ryan's question, again, if you didn't watch the game, you looked at the stat sheet, you'll see we gave up 520 yards of total offense to Central Missouri. But in going back and looking at the offensive drive chart, our offense went 3 and out 8 times, and there were another 2 drives where we only had 4 plays in the series.
Well, I think that's the story. I mean, just the job their defense did on our offense and our lack of execution and a lack of making plays. However, I don't want the defense to get a free pass.
Sure.
They got to play better.
There were some bright spots in this game, and in the end, your son comes in as the backup quarterback and has a nice run and throws a touchdown. We haven't really talked about Travis Partridge very much this year, just because he is the number 2, but he is the future. What do you see from your son?
Well, it's going to be a tough job. That's a lot of pressure because it's who he's playing for, the team that he's grown up rooting for, the pressure. And he's one of those kids that's kind of had that he gets things because of me thing, and he gets things because of me, maybe because I've worked him hard. But he's blessed athletically. He can run, and he's got a good arm. And I was pleased with him. It was a really nice drive, and he stood in there. He didn't look scared. He's looking for his reads. He got hit 2 or 3 times pretty hard, and one time in the leg. Had 2 nice runs, had a good throw to Meade, and if I'm him, I'm going to Meade too because he's going to make the catch. But really pleased. That was a positive.
We've got Missouri Southern coming up in a couple days, and we'll talk about that right after the break.